Dad was a great role model. He taught us respect, honesty, strong work ethics. I mean, that was, we always had strong work ethics. I can remember we would go to Oregon State football games. We never enjoyed Oregon State football games till later along in our life because we always worked. He was on the east corner of the football stadium, and every game he worked a concession stand. He had OSU students there, and he'd train them. Now we've got to sell more Pepsi, more hot dogs, more everything than anybody else. And so that's where he was every year for 25 years. The first 25 years we had OSU, he was always at that end zone at football. And then he'd measure up to the rest of us. But, and then when we got OSU back a few years ago, he was just elated. It was like, that was the most important thing in the community, was that university and selling Pepsi there. So we worked 2 years before we got the contract back again to secure that business. Love was another thing. He taught us all to love each other. Giving. And of course, what Gary said was his famous words were the 4-letter words of save. I can remember he gave our kids each a little bank, and it'd record every time you put a coin in it. And then if they filled it, he would double the money. And boy, that was an event. He really was excited about that. So the grandchildren learned how to save. Growing up around Dad was exciting for a youngster because what you did was you worked the fairs, you worked the rodeos, you worked side by side with him at county fairs, wherever Pepsi was served. That's what we would do, opening 8-ounce bottles and pouring them in cups and selling them. The plant was our playground. If you wanted to hang out with Dad, you went to the Pepsi plant, and if you didn't have a broom in your hands, you'd be coursing around and getting lectures for what you shouldn't do. Our friends also worked at the Pepsi plant, high school friends like Hutch and Tom and Daryl and George. As kids, we also went on deliveries with my mother. She drove a flatbed truck, loaded it with Pepsi, and had 4 kids in the front seat with her, and went out delivering it. She was an amazing lady. His famous quote was, it's a penny business. And Matt reminded me of the other day, a penny business. He said, you got to watch every penny. And he instilled that in all of us. Expenses, especially me, I was in charge of all the sales, so pricing was a concern. And he always said, you just give it away, Ken. You just give it away. Dad, at the end of the year, normally he was satisfied. Maybe every now and then not, but anyway, we had great people working for us, and it helped us be successful. The Good Samaritan Hospital was extremely important to Dad, the Pastega house especially, after, as you read, my Aunt Bianca was having heart surgery, and he spent a week in Redding, California at the hospital there with her, and they had a similar house. So he said, when I get back to Corvallis, I'm going to build one just like it. And a lot of people helped out with it. The plans came from Medford, from a family friend, the Snyders, and the design, and a lot of people helped put together and paint the house, Jim, and a lot of other things. And also the Golden Apple Award, that was so important to him. Education, that was the top of the importance. Just giving and supporting other organizations. Dad's approval is what everybody wanted in the family. It was like, and being respectful, he was our godfather. All the grandchildren would come to him and look for the acceptance of nonno, which means in Italian grandfather. And so they all would strive for his approval. In Dad's eyes, his sons never grew up. We were always the kids or the sons or whatever. He was very independent too. After Mom passed away, he still lived alone. We tried to get somebody to come in and help him. Absolutely not. And I'd call him up every morning and see how he was. And on Saturdays, I'd call him and say, well, Dad, how's it going? You need anything? Nope, I'm fine. I said, what you been doing? Oh, I changed my sheets, I mopped the floors, I cleaned the bathrooms, and he'd just go on and on. He's pretty proud of that independence. A great 40th birthday, or not 40th, 95th birthday party for him. There was 40 of us there at his home, all of his family, and he was just in great, he was just in a great position then. He looked great. He gave us a lecture and said, you better be together once a year like this or I'm going to come after you. Well, we'll do it, Dad, because we know you probably would. I would like to thank Bishop Steiner, Father John, Francis, everybody that's helped preside over this great Mass today. It's an honor to have them respect my dad and look after him the way you all did. And his family will surely live up to his standards. And Dad, I really miss you and I love you. And thank you for raising me. It was a challenge, Dave.